Coach, there's been a kind of a new philosophy when everyone talks about tempo. Can you talk about what that means? Does it mean not necessarily going fast, but can you talk about what that might mean for a rhythm in the offense, or how everybody might play a different role in that type of mentality?
Yeah, it's taking the approach that a lot of these tempo teams are. You have the ability to go super fast. You have the ability to slow it down. We're trying to make ourselves unique in terms of having the ability to have multiple groupings, multiple formations on the team on the field. So yeah, the tempo, it's great. There's definitely a place for it. But at the end of the day, like anything, it comes down to execution. You got to block. You got to know your assignment. You got to do your job. You got to break tackles. You got to block on the perimeter. So the tempo is great, but at the end of the day, we still got to teach technique. And the thing that you worry about whenever you're going super fast is that you lose the mentality to continue to teach technique, and that's not going to change here. We're going to make sure that the quarterback's taking the right drop. We're going to make sure that our wide receivers are stock blocking, getting right releases. The lineman can tag to the right proper backer. So there's an advantage to it. There's a place for it. But at the end of the day, you still have to play great technique and do your job.
Scott, just comment on having a guy like John Baker in the middle of your offensive line to develop your young quarterbacks and you get a ground game going as well.
No question. Darius is older, AB is young. However, they both haven't played. Darius has played limited role before he got hurt. Played in the Florida State and I believe the Howard game, and then AB hasn't played yet. So it's really important, regardless who the guy is out there, that the foundation always begins with the offensive line, which then trickles down obviously to the other positions. Those guys out there, they're going to be out there for the first time. They're expected to do their job, but as you well all know, as much as it starts with us, we got to make sure that there's people around them doing their jobs to help them along with their inexperience. Is that an excuse? No, absolutely not. Our job as the quarterback position is to go out and play well, but also, that's where the criticism comes in. Whenever everything goes great, you get way too much credit. Whenever things go bad, you get major criticism. So you need to make sure that there's people around him doing their job also.
Just talk about John at the point of attack.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. He's got experience. He's got size. He's a super smart kid. He's going to be able to help with the protections in terms of making sure that our quarterback is IDing it correctly. So, yeah, he's a veteran. He's a guy that he's shown tremendous leadership so far on our offensive unit.
Seemed like it took a while last year for Tommy Sweeney to kind of get into a groove with Patrick. How do you see the tight ends role this year?
Well, I've been in the one and done for the last. I think the last quarterback that I've coached back-to-back years was Chad Henne. So whenever you're bouncing from quarterback to quarterback to quarterback to quarterback, there's a reason New England's good besides Tommy. There's continuity. The guy's been in the system for 17, 18, whatever it is, 19 years. And, anytime that you're able to practice and stay within the same system for a period of time, everything gets better. And that's what you've seen. There's more rhythm, there's more timing. We look like we know what we're doing much more just because of the simple fact of time.
Coach, keeping along the lines with the tight ends, how much versatility do they give you, whether it's in a blocking role versus a receiving
Yeah, our
role?
tight ends are excellent. They're able to play multiple positions, which create matchup issues, and they'll be used.
Coach, switching to the running back game, what have you seen so far out of your incoming freshmen, and how have they impacted the battle at that group?
Yeah, they're both good football players. Both are different, but both have a skill set that we're all going to like. They're both tough. They're both smart. They're both fast. AJ's obviously just a little bit bigger. Travis does some different things that you can do out of the backfield, but they're both really two young, good football players, and they did a great job recruiting Brian White. Coach Adazio did a great job with recruiting those guys, and our staff did a great job recruiting those guys. So I think we're all going to be really happy with the young players, and our older players at that position are pretty good too. So it's a good feeling to have depth at that position because those guys go through a lot of banging, and you need more than one. You need more than two. So we're very fortunate right now at that position. There's a lot of really good depth and talent, in my opinion.
Julian from the Globe. Steve was just talking about kind of the jobs you've taken over the years and kind of turning things around at different spots, whether it's Temple, Auburn, Tech.
Yeah.
And then here, he's like, he's had some tough.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a great experience. Every place that I've been, from Michigan to the NFL to Florida to with Steve at Temple, everywhere you've learned. I've made some mistakes, and I've learned from mistakes, and I've done some really good things. So you always look at what's happened in the past. You look at the good, you look at the negative, and you just try to keep improving and doing a better job. This is, every place that I was at, I loved. I mean, there were some great places that I've been, and I've been very fortunate for my age to have had some great jobs. And this place fits me. There's a blue-collar mentality with Steve. I love the discipline. I love the kids. And very excited and very humbled to be a part of this. And just like I said, I think Steve's done a great job recruiting. He's a great head coach. And but I really, really like our players. I mean, they're really cool, and this is a special, unique place.
Season feeling, especially coming out of the bowl game with the system you're able to implement, and then
it was a debate the day that we came to Boston College as if we should go tempo, and we totally changed the throw game, and there was a ton of learning, and we were very, very to be quite honest, very simple last year, just because we were working on getting in the right splits. It was all new, and now again, just like I say, it's a year ahead. We're much more ahead. We're much more comfortable with the system, and we'll play more consistent because of, again, those kids have heard the same things for more than 30 days, like it was last year. So it's an exciting time. We got to get better. We're much improved. We're not where we'd say it's perfect yet, but we're on the right track. I know. Yeah. Yeah, there's no question. Just like I said, this profession, we had a great year at Temple because they did a great job before we got there. They did a great job with recruiting and what have not. And in this profession, there's a lot of timing to it and all that other stuff. But I don't get into all that. I'm super excited to be around these guys, and you really see where this thing could take off. And we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but that's the business, to answer your question. There's some times that you walk into things that are perfect, it's ready to go, and there's other times that it takes a little bit of time, and sometimes you get to be the guy that was part of it, and sometimes you got it ready for someone else that's part of it. So to answer your question, yeah, timing. He's good. We keep going. It feels like EJ's been around here for 3 years now, but he really is a true freshman that should be coming off his baseball season and heading to the summer summer school. But he's been here since January. He's got a lot to learn. There's this tremendous upside. A lot of new things for him, but he's doing a good job.
Take a few more questions. All the way in the back.
Coach, you mentioned
offensive line. Could you talk about Chris Lindstrom, his development, and as a leader and as obviously size-wise, and does he have more motivation having a younger brother in the room now as a leadership role?
Yeah. Chris, it's funny. You watched the last job that I was at, you watched always the crossover film, and you see this 255, 245-pound guy that's trotting out there that should be redshirted, but you saw a lot of fight. You saw that he was athletic, and he was one of those guys that unfortunately had to play way too early. And now he's 300 pounds plus. He's athletic. He can move. He's smart. He's tough. He gets it. And that's the crazy thing about college football. Sometimes you're asked to play when you're really not ready to play. And you'd love to have had the ability to redshirt him, but that experience that he had being at 260 pounds, being undersized, he realized that he had to get a heck of a lot stronger, a heck of a lot bigger. And sometimes you have to go through a little bit of hell to get to where you need to be. And that guy has embraced his that first year and has really worked his tail off to do a great job. And he's one of our better players. There's no question.